So Paul, we're talking about personalized pricing, but actually we're talking about the journey from just pricing where it is to being more personalized. Why are companies thinking about this?
In some ways, the way it works at the moment is kind of broken. I think the idea that everyone would pay the same price for a risk-based product is nonsensical. You end up with a group of people that pays a lot more. They're not very risky. They end up paying the headline price. They're overpaying. And then there might be this segment where banks don't really know how to evaluate this customer, and they just get hit with an incredibly high APR because the bank doesn't want to take the risk. So everyone's kind of losing. The idea of personalized pricing, whether that's like a personalized discount on a particular product or a better understanding of someone's riskiness and how to price that appropriately, is just really quite hard to do.
Why?
I think there's several barriers. I think there's a data organization barrier, like where's your data housed? Do you have the skill set to take advantage of that? But other than that, it's more, you're probably looking for a relatively small signal sometimes. Traditionally, you would try and work out a price elasticity of a product, not really of a customer of a product, which is what we're here trying to do. Like, it's personalized. Like how will you respond if this costs 25 quid versus 24 versus 23 versus 22? That's a fairly granular kind of curve you're trying to draw for someone. It's just very small signal.
So you're talking about, when you look at something with for a whole product or a group of customers where there's tens of thousands, you'll get nice kind of distributions and nice looking curves. But when you go down to an individual level, those curves don't really exist.
Absolutely. I think it's an elasticity would be, what if I put my prices up by 10%? What's going to happen to demand? And then do I want that? That's that profitable? We're now talking about, for a specific individual, what should I be doing to maximize my revenue, or whatever metric you're trying to maximize, really. But it's much more granular. And taking the example of the elasticity further, rather than calculate a price elasticity for your product, but for, let's say, 3 or 4 customer segments, it's probably well established. You do that because you want to see how different customers react differently. But that's splitting your customer base 4 ways. We're now trying to split it all the way down to a customer level. It's just far more difficult to do.